The goal of this video is to install, configure, and test the PI ODBC Driver. We'll start by installing the necessary software. In a previous video, we went over the data flow of the PI ODBC Driver to show that the PI ODBC Driver needs to be installed on the client machine, and it will talk to the PI SQL Data Access Server, which that will use PI ODB, either provider or enterprise, to talk to the PI system. We're going to put everything on the same machine, so we're going to start by installing PySQL DOS 2016 R2. You can obtain this from the tech support download site. And once you have the install kit, right-click and run as administrator. Great. Now that the PySQL Data Access Server is installed, let's go ahead and install PI ODBC 2016 R2. Same way, right-click, run as administrator. Great. This completed successfully as well. Let's go ahead and open up PySQL Commander Lite. Now that we have PI ODBC Driver installed, over on the Object Explorer on the left-hand side, we see ODBC data sources. However, there's nothing populated there. That's because this is crawling the list of all DSNs on the operating system that are using PI ODBC Driver as the ODBC driver. So let's go ahead and create some of those. We'll go to the Start menu and type in ODBC. We see ODBC data sources 32-bit and 64-bit. The 32-bit will allow you to create and edit 32-bit data sources, and the 64-bit will do the same for 64 bits. We'll start with 32-bit. We'll create a system DSN and click Add. And we'll find PI ODBC Driver in the list. We'll give it a name, 32-bit PI server. We'll specify the name of our PySQL Data Access Server. Now, remember when I said everything is all on the same machine. So the name of the PySQL Data Access Server is the name of this machine, PySRV01. Trusted connection means that we're going to use our Windows authentication for the person running the application. And in data source, we'll select the type of PI ODB provider for now in our first DSN. And this is where I mentioned that PySQL Data Access Server can use either PI ODB provider or PI ODB enterprise queries. The service itself can use either provider. However, each individual ODBC connection can only use one. So we're going to select PI ODB provider for this one and type in for our PyData archive PySRV01, initial catalog PyArchive, which we'll go over the schema of PI ODB provider in a future video, but for now just type in PyArchive. And let's keep integrated security equals SSPI, as this uses Windows authentication. So we'll test the connection, and we'll see that it works. So now we've created our 32-bit PI ODBC Driver DSN for the PyData archive. Now if we go back into PySQL Commander Lite, and we refresh ODBC data sources, we still don't see anything. This is interesting. We just created a DSN, and yet we don't see it in our list of ODBC data sources, despite where I said this is a list of all the DSNs. The reason for this is that we currently have open PySQL Commander Lite 64-bit, but we created a 32-bit DSN. So let's go into Start menu, and let's open up 32-bit version of PySQL Commander Lite. Sure enough, under ODBC data sources, we now see 32-bit PI server. Same DSN we created here. So now let's do the same thing with the 64-bit and prove that it shows up in the 64-bit version. Test connection again, show that it's successful, Click OK. And now we have two different ODBC DSNs for the PI ODBC driver, both of which are pointing to the PI data archive directly using PI ODB provider. One is 32-bit, one is 64-bit. Now, if we open up again our 64-bit version and refresh our ODBC data sources, we'll see 64-bit PI server. Now let's start querying the PI data archive through this PI ODBC DSN. We'll right-click and connect, and we see the same schema we saw before. Again, we'll go over this in a future video. I just want to show that the functionality is still the same. So under PI archive, let's do the PyInterp2 queries again. And we see that we're returning values. We can even go down under views, right-click on test view, execute predefined query, and we have a successful data flow. Now let's continue with AF queries using PI ODB Enterprise as the data source for a PI ODBC DSN. So let's open back up ODBC Data Source Administrator 32-bit System DSN. Let's add PI ODBC Driver again. This time do 32-bit AF server. The PySQL Data Access Server is still this machine, so we'll keep that the same. And here we'll select PI ODB Enterprise from the dropdown and type in the name of our AF server. We'll put system as the initial catalog. Again, we'll go over this in a future video. And we'll keep the options as integrated security equals SSPI. Test the connection and show that it succeeded. And click OK. And now we have a 32-bit AF server ODBC DSN. Just a reminder, the bitness is important here because the application must be the same bitness as the ODBC DSN that's being used. This is all handled behind the scenes on the operating system level, but since you as a PySQL developer will be the one creating the DSNs, they have to exist as the correct bitness. This is why it's very important to make sure that you've created either the correct bitness or just one of each bitness. So let's open up PySQL Commander Lite 32-bit so that we can use our 32-bit AF server ODBC DSN. In the Object Explorer, we can see now that we have our 32-bit AF server DSN. Let's go ahead, right-click and connect. And we see the same schema that we saw before. These are AF databases. So go into Database 1, Asset, Tables, and our element query should work just like it did before, as well as our views. Great. Everything is successfully working. And to prove the data flow between PI ODBC and PI OLEDB, I'm going to stop the PySQL Data Access Server service. And I'm going to try to execute these same queries as a PI ODBC driver data source and a PI OLEDB provider or enterprise data source. So here, let's try to execute predefined query. And we get an error message that says, could not connect to our PySQL Data Access Server. Let's connect to the PI ODB Enterprise AF server and run the same query directly from there. That query works. So this proves that the PI ODBC driver is routing all of its connections through the PySQL Data Access Server. Then the PySQL Data Access Server is what's using PI ODB Provider or PI ODB Enterprise to communicate to the Pi system. If we're not using ODBC, in this case, we can just use PI ODB Provider or Enterprise directly, and those queries still work. But since we've stopped the PySQL Data Access Server service, the ODBC connections have no way of reaching the Pi system. One final thing I want to cover in this video is how to use the initialization properties that we showed in the previous video about PI ODB Provider from within the PI ODBC driver connection. So let's go into ODBC data sources again. Let's create another 32-bit Pi server DSN. This time let's call it 32-bit Pi server default time step. Let's use the same server for the PySQL data access server. Let's select PI ODBC provider, type in the Pi server name. Let's use PyArchive again. Keep integrated security with SSPI correct. And now under options, under the provider section, this is where we put in the initialization properties. So we can do something like default time step equals 6H. Now any connection using this Pi ODBC DSN will have this default time step specified. We could also go into the protocols tab and change the order of NetTCP versus HTTPS. In a previous video I showed that both of these could be used. We can switch the orders if we would like. There's also a third tab with a little bit more configuration. We'll keep everything like this, and we'll use default time step equals 6H. We'll test the connection, show that it succeeded, and we'll click OK. We'll click OK on this as well. Now let's open up the 32-bit version of PySQL Commander Lite. And we see that we have both 32-bit Pi server and 32-bit Pi server default time step. Let's connect to the first one and do the PyInterp2 query. Let's change it to 1 day. And notice that our time steps are all 1 hour. Now, let's connect to the 32-bit Pi server default time step DSN. And let's do the same query. Notice that the output is using 6-hour time steps, and we only receive 5 values across a full 1-day period. This is proving that the DSN itself is holding configuration that we can put for the Pi ODBC provider or enterprise section of the connection, and those will be used for all applications using this DSN. This concludes the video on installation, configuration, and testing the Pi ODBC driver.